He's a big boy compared to the cousin that we saw this morning.
Fucking hell, is that a wildcat? I know, right? Can you believe it? It's like Safari and... why are you running off? He's just a lion's man. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's
football this fucking week.
Yo guys, it is your boy Niran here, and you are watching FTW. This of course is the series where I bring to you the best and more frequently the worst of what football has to offer during the last 7 days. What's been kicking off in the world this week? Well, Facebook rebranded as Meta, and that was scarier than a weekend that featured Halloween in it.
Absolutely. Over the years, we've had the opportunity.
She's acting like she's just been given hands as a present this morning. And the world of football was getting spooky as well. Napoli brought out some special kits for the occasion. Erling Haaland was spotted on a dance floor in the UK. Patrice Evra was getting in the mix as well.
I love this game!
Really and truly, Patrice, all you had to do was lick chicken again. That was scary enough. And even the fans are in the Halloween spirit as well. He kind of looks like a pumpkin as well, this guy, doesn't he? Ooh, with SpongeBob SquarePants arriving away at Cambridge United. But it's fair to say the best costume for this year goes to Harry Kane. He spent the whole season as a ghost. And Manchester United's 3-0 victory signalled the end of Nuno's 16-game reign at Spurs, in a game dubbed as El Sacico. I feel bad for Nuno, but the guy was doomed from the start. This is a man who probably plays FIFA on semi-pro, and apparently he didn't even get much of a farewell from the players on social media. I'm not surprised they hardly knew the guy. Man was there for 3 weeks. He hadn't even got his canteen pass printed. In 10 league games in charge for Spurs, he's done more for London than any politician ever has. And so, with Spurs taking part in NNN, No Nuno November, they replaced the Portuguese manager with an Italian one. Not that the Spurs social team actually knew that. Might want to get rid of the Spanish tweet here. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has genuinely beaten Spurs to ensure that they sack their manager and replace him with the one man who could replace Ole.
It was all part of the master plan, wasn't it?
This is 6-dimensional chess. They've got an elite manager on their hands now. It really begs the question how Spurs have managed to win by losing 3-0. Antonio Conte is in. He's been pictured at the club. Him and his coaches look like mafia bosses. Imagine it was him in All or Nothing. Because it's crazy. The Godfather is actually a film based on me. Oh, hey, Antonio. Sorry about this. Just wanted to check if Milan was still interested. Milan? You know they were our rivals back in Italy. No, I want to see whether AC is still interested in. So you're with the AC gang now, are you? You can't just switch mob like that, Daniele. My name's Daddy, but... Now, Antonio Conte is known for his very much take it or leave it attitude as a coach.
If a player doesn't do what you ask him to do for the team, he's out.
I prefer to kill him and to earn, yeah, but I prefer to kill him.
With training schedules that once led to the collapse of a Chelsea youngster whilst in pre-season, how's he gonna deal with Dele Alli? All I can imagine is him manhandling the poor guy to take part in the rondos. Poor Antonio does not know what he's got himself in for. He's got Daniel Levy causing him grief from above, especially when he hears his transfer demands for the next window.
I ain't got that sort of money.
I'm not paying 13 quid.
There'll be shock when he realises the Audi Association is a pre-season trophy, not a company car. He was pictured observing the squad in his first session. He's got to observe Davinson Sanchez being an NPC in training.
My expectation to suffer.
And that's even before they end up 2-1 down to a team from Slovenia in the Conference League. He's already set some harsh guidelines around the club, suggesting that for health reasons, players can only have sex with their own partner for a short period of time. No wonder Mauro Icardi left Inter as soon as this guy arrived. How is this even policed as a rule, by the way? Yeah, I'm sorry, babe. It's been 3 minutes and 47 seconds, and unfortunately, the boss is not gonna allow. As far as the appointment is concerned, it should be a good one. I mean, there's the chance that it all falls apart in 2 years, because that's how Conte regimes can end. But in the short short term, his record with underperforming sides like Chelsea when they were 10th when he came in, like Inter when they were 7th when he came in, is pretty good. I wouldn't expect a title next season, but he could quite easily win Spurs some silverware over at the club that beat them in the Premier League, and Manchester United are once again doing things the hard way, as Cristiano Ronaldo scored in the 90th minute again to secure a draw against Atalanta in the Champions League. This guy is actually inevitable.
Fine, I'll do it myself.
He's announced on his socials that he and his wife are expecting twins at some point, and I respect the plan from him. If they can give birth to enough kids, they can fill out the starting 11. Paul Scholes looked gutted in the BT Sports studio, knowing that this equaliser would probably keep Ollie in a job. Spurs even tweeted about Antonio Conte when they went down 2-1. It's a shithousery award for the North London side. It is so impressive from Cristiano Ronaldo. This is why he's one of the greatest of all time. He will, without fail, always turn up when you need him the most. But this is not a sustainable way of getting success. A fan brought a map to the game against Tottenham. I can only imagine it was a map for the rest of the team on how to put the ball in the back of the net. Big Ron must have a heart attack watching some of the rest of the squad in training sessions.
What is he doing? What is he doing? Please stop. Please stop. Why is he still going?
Meanwhile, Jadon Sancho's just on holiday at this stage. You might as well add him to the attendance figures. And today's total is 64,125 plus Donny van de Beek. This result does, however, mean United are in a better position to go through, and it is in their hands now. Though I doubt Harry Maguire realises this, as in an interview on Sky, when showed the terrible defensive stats United have put up during the course of the season in the league, he said that he'd never seen them. What do you mean you've never seen them? Roy Keane had no sympathy for the United captain.
I heard Maguire talking during the week. He was like a robot. He was like, apologies to the fans. Like, no emotion behind it.
I mean, what else does he not look at? Does he get to the end of the game and he hasn't checked out the scoreboard yet? He's in for the shock of his life when he arrives for the start of next season, hasn't looked at the table in 4 months and realises United have been relegated. Liverpool coasted past Atleti with a 2-0 victory, though they were helped by a contentious refereeing decision. It saw Felipe given a yellow card for a cynical challenge, but then when he walked away from the referee and refused to go back to him, the ref gave him a second yellow card and sent him off. The guy was dishing out more yellows than a Nikita Mazepin highlights reel. I wonder what he's like in normal situations. Yeah, mate, have you got the time? Red card. There you go, my G. You come through. Didn't even say that. Get red card, man. Trent Alexander-Arnold pulled off 2 pinpoint accurate assists. David Beckham once went viral for hitting a bin that was like 100 meters away from him. If you put a grain of rice a kilometer away from Trent Alexander-Arnold, he'd be able to knock it into a nearby korma. Gareth Southgate must be impressed here. He's slowly rising to being the 4th choice England right back. The kid could honestly save a burning orphanage and he'd still be on the bench against Kosovo. Elsewhere in Ajax beat Borussia Dortmund, Matt Hummels was given an even more controversial red card in this one. I mean, the attacker stood on his leg. I don't even understand. One of Ajax's goals, though, came from Dusan Tadic, who in the process sacrificed 2 balls just for the one. That's the worst trade deal I've seen since my boy Ali. Elsewhere in the Champions League, and Bayern Munich won 5-2 against Benfica. Serge Gnabry scored a wonderful flick goal, and the Bundesliga account replied with this. Are they focusing on what I think they're focusing on? I guess it really is the Bundesliga. Chelsea beat Swedish side Malmo in the group stages as well, though we struggled to actually see the game at one point. I'm sure BT Sports technicians were firmly on the case trying to fix it.
Have you tried turning it off and on again?
Even currently injured striker Romelu Lukaku was struggling. Tweaking though. Big man, you're not gonna get a US passport, bro. You're Belgian. And at Barcelona, they've undergone change with the sacking of Ronald Koeman following El Clasico defeat. Barca midfielder Miralem Pjanic seemed sympathetic on Instagram, but a question is, who takes over the helm at this sleeping giant of a football club? I tell you what, they used to call me a little fatty at school as well. It's former Barca icon Xavi who seems set to take over from Koeman. Having managed in Qatar with Al Sadd, it seems as if he's top of the shopping list for his former club. But is this too early for someone like him? I'm sure he's a good coach. He's done pretty well in Qatar. But this is a giant of world football in complete ruins. And it's a relatively new coach who's taking over. This is probably the biggest job in world football right now. He only knows Sergio Busquets and Gerard Piqué from the old team, and they're both 53 now. They're reliant on De Jong for goals, and he's not even the best De Jong in the starting 11. Back in the Premier League though now, and West Ham swept aside an out-of-form Aston Villa 4-1. Fullback Ben Johnson scored the opener, then celebrated by replicating a viral video of him from when he was a kid. Declan Rice was on the score sheet, but he left his dance moves for Instagram. And this marks a seriously barren spell for Aston Villa now. Even the fans are wanting to get involved in scraps in the crowd. Give him a left hook and a little right hook. Get me in the mix and a left. Whatever happened to midfielder Marvellous Nakamba, I'm wishing him a speedy recovery. Meanwhile, there's the news that their right-back Matty Cash will be representing Poland from now on. He'll be representing the nation of his mother's birth under the name Maciusz Kaszelic. It was an unreal performance from Crystal Palace to beat Man City 2-0. We've just had Halloween, but it doesn't lay a scratch on this defending from Kyle Walker. And Arsenal took a pretty solid 2-0 win against Leicester. Mikel Arteta must be baffled looking at the table and seeing Arsenal in 6th after the start they had.
No, but who, where? Like where? How did we get right there?
Aaron Ramsdale played pretty well when he wasn't joining in with Leicester's chance. He pulled off what is definitely a save of the season contender from a James Maddison free kick. I, for one, never doubted him. I, for one, am truly doubting him. In Spain and for Granada, Luis Suarez, not the one you're thinking of, pulled off the worst penalty of all time.
Is it going to be 1-1? And no, it's not! An awful penalty!
And it's been a busy week in Italy, where on-loan defender Ethan Ampadu got sent off for this for Venezia. I don't often agree with Gareth's from down the pub, but the game is well and truly gone. Maybe they needed this referee, who was taking absolutely no shit from Udinese's Gerard Deulofeu, or the one that allowed this tackle on AC Milan's Sandro Tonali. Meanwhile, back at Roma, and Jose Mourinho is annoyed again. Where are you going? The guy looks like he's just realised he left the oven on at home. At Inter, and who says every footballer has to have a flash car? Over in France, and Wabi Kazri scored an unbelievable goal for Saint Etienne this week. He picked up the ball from his own penalty area, dribbled forward, clocked that the opposition goalkeeper was off his line, before smacking the ball in over the keeper from 70 yards out. Does the goalkeeper own a combine harvester? Yes. But is this still an incredible goal? Absolutely. And at PSG, for crying out loud, there's yet more updates in the Mauro Icardi Wondanara shenanigans of the century that I don't care about. Because apparently after deciding they were all calm and wanted to get back together again, literally yesterday, Wondanara has confirmed they've split up. Again. All of this after they made matching profile pictures on Insta. Even the French advertising boards won't let Mauro live this down. I'm surprised he hasn't threatened the Argentinian FA yet. Mauro, we have lots of strikers in Argentina. We don't care if you don't want to play for us. My point still stands. Hello all and welcome to The Beautiful Game, the segment where we take a look at the poetic and brilliant side of the game that we love. We are back by popular demand for yet more glorious beauty. And that concludes The Beautiful Game. Closer to home, and at least it's been somewhat of a quiet week for Paul Scholes. I swear to God, why does this... After his soul-sucking spectacle last week, pictures emerged of him getting a lap dance from somebody this week. I'm not even gonna lie, I'm just surprised that he didn't go hands first, straight for the feet. How's he gonna contain himself when he sees a stripper walking through in sandals?
When I'm through with you, when I'm through with you, is it my fault?
This man created a whole new scandal to distract you from the original, way more embarrassing scandal. There was more deforestation in Nottingham than in the Amazon rainforest with this challenge against QPR. Meanwhile, in the Netherlands now, and at Sparta Rotterdam, don't try and Panenka this goalkeeper. Ever. At FC Twente, and after one fan went viral with an absolutely ridiculous amount of beers being carried at the same time, it's fair to say this is now getting out of control. And Bayern fans, you thought I forgot about you getting spanked 5-0 by Gladbach. This tweet about scoring 5 against Bayer Leverkusen the week before has aged rather poorly. In a game involving Napoli and Roma's under-16s, we had a ridiculous goal scored where, for a late corner, a Napoli youngster appeared to just bat the ball into the back of the net with his hand. The referee and the assistant didn't see it, and the goal was given. A real hand of God from a kid who's also called Diego. Fashion Sakala, the Zambian forward playing for Rangers, scored a hat-trick in the league this week, and Zambia's president congratulated him about it on Twitter. James Rodriguez's debut in Qatar didn't exactly go to plan. The former Colombian wonder boy was sent off in his first game in the country when, after being fouled by an opposition, he kind of just went nuts at the referee, who booked him once for swearing at him. Then James got even more annoyed, and then he got booked again for trying to fight him. A guy called @LouFootball has been going viral over on TikTok during the last month, amongst other things because he looks like Wolfsburg centre-back Maxence Lacroix. And the Frenchman finally met his TikTok double, and they got a video together. I mean, how does this even? It's all kicking off in Brazil, meanwhile, as Grêmio fans, I assume unhappy with a decision that went against them, decided to scrap with VAR. They went down onto the pitch and destroyed the VAR section, slapped the TV about, and then we've got the story of Gustavo Florentin, who's the manager of Sport. He was sent off during the course of the game, sent to the stands. Not only was he able to relay information onto his assistant from there, but then once one of their players scored, he then celebrated with them as if he was one of their own. Now though, for the moment you've all been waiting for, because over in Romania, I don't mean to alarm anybody, but there's 3 stories this week. I know that, I mean, that sounds like an alarm. First of all, we've got Romania's national team manager who has called up a 15-year-old by the name of Enes Sarli for their next set of World Cup 2022 qualifiers.
A child. No.
In the league, and Romanian referees don't seem to include rugby tackles as fouls.
Oh, ce a fost acolo? O lovitură de la 11 metri. A scăpat mingea și l-a placat. L-a placat. Acolo e penalty.
Meanwhile, despite fan access to stadiums being restricted in Romania at the moment, it didn't stop this guy from getting a great vantage point of the action. Have you got a season ticket, mate? No, because that on the set of Noah's Ark, and we've got the greatest celebration of all time, a contender for one of the best MLS goals of all time now.
Ria making a big run. Moreno looking for him. Marcinkowski gets it. Oh, he spilled it. A bicycle from Austria! Oh, simply spectacular!
And in Dinamo Zagreb's most recent game in the Croatian league, picking out your teammates gonna be a little bit difficult with this foggy weather. But one of my favourite stories this week comes from Argentina, where Newell's old boys were drawing 0-0 against the side 15 places above them in the league in the 90th minute. Step up a youngster making his debut on the great Diego Maradona's birthday to score an absolute screamer and get them the goal they need. Make a film about it right now.
Best players within the tournament and the explosions all the way into the final.
Now that it's time for still 0-0, and you guys know the score by now, this is a segment of the show where I bring to you the best of Sunday League and amateur football. There's many things you expect to see on a Sunday League pitch. Hard challenges, a bottle of Budweiser, but Lionel Messi probably isn't one of them. I'm just shocked at the fact nobody's tried to snap his leg during the course of this run. On to the weird stuff though now. Firstly, there's a story of in a Brazilian league game, players, coaches and officials had to take cover because there was a shootout going on outside the stadium. As in, there was like gang warfare going on outside. You can hear it in the background.
Vocês estão ouvindo, hein? Até os jogadores tentando se proteger. Que situação. E agora o Guilherme tá, entendeu ali? A gente apareceu, ele apareceu até inclusive dentro da...
Thankfully everyone in the stadium was unhurt, but crazy scenes over there. Different kind of shootout in South Africa, where goalkeeper Dennis Mazinde Onyango saved 5 penalties in one shootout. Surely that's got to be a record. There was confusion at Leyton Orient, where during their game against Hartlepool, the referee accidentally brought the teams in for half-time 4 minutes early. He brought the teams back out after half-time, played the original 4 minutes, then asked the teams to switch ends. I don't know what the protocol is for that situation, but it's given me a headache, so. And finally, some well wishes to a couple of people this week. First of all, to Icelandic midfielder Emil Paulsen, who collapsed on the pitch suffering from a cardiac arrest during a Norwegian league game. He's had a pacemaker fitted now, but had to receive treatment on the pitch. So well wishes to him. Obviously, it's a traumatic experience, so to his teammates too. And to Sergio Aguero, who came off in a recent game for Barcelona with chest pains. He's going to miss the next 3 months of action because of this. He's undergone an evaluation from the medical team, and they reckon that that's the best for him. Again, wishing him a speedy recovery too. That, though, is going to wrap up football this week, and I hope you have enjoyed it. If you have, then feel free to slap a like on the video, and of course, subscribe if you're new to the channel. You can also follow me on social media. It is at officialfng on Twitter and on Insta. But it's been a pleasure ranting at you guys today. Have a wonderful day, enjoy yourselves, and goodbye.